What's up, Amazon sellers? Today, I want to talk about my plans in my Amazon arbitrage business for the USA and how I got from 8 IP complaints down to 2 and what you can learn from it as well. Stay tuned. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson and I've been selling on Amazon now doing online arbitrage for the last 5 years. Now in the UK, I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller, check this out, and in the USA, I'm a 6-figure Amazon seller, check this out. Now hopefully in the near future, we're going to expand into a new marketplace, and if you're interested in learning how I've done it, what I'm doing, and what I'm learning on my journey, then do make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. But hey, enough about me. What are we going to talk about today? First things first, number one, I'm going to go through a recap of my plans for April and obviously talk about them and what actually happened. Number two, I'm going to talk about my plans for May in 2022, and obviously those IP complaints as well. And then finally, number three, I'm going to share my personal advice going forward. Let's give a quick recap of my plans for April as part of my update, obviously going forward for my plans for May. I talked about $100,000 in sales within those 30 days of April. Now, when 2022 started, I set myself a goal to make 7 figures, $1 million in sales in 12 months for 2022. I know, hashtag excited. Now, basically, I broke it down by increasing, should we say, monthly targets of spend and obviously revenue as well. So for April, my target was to do $100,000 in sales. Now, to give you an update as of making this video, right now, we've already done about 61,000 in sales. So for me, right now, it seems a bit slow and we're probably going to come quite a bit under, maybe about 4/5, call about 80,000, but we shall see, obviously for my target of 100,000 in sales. Now, why? Well, this is because I changed my business strategy. Now, before, my strategy was to be, should we say, quite fast revenues, buying goods, selling them quickly, flipping them, and quite simply, I sell products which have a low profit, but sell fast, that's fine. Now what we're doing, especially in the US, we've shifted to be a bit more of a slower revenue generation seller. Basically, I'm selling products which are maybe not as fast, maybe have a higher profit when compared to the products that I sold before. And this is us changing this strategy. For me, the one thing I would say about that is the point that, in comparison to the UK, we have seen that, should we say, the ability to turn over stock in the US is slower, and hence kind of one of the changes we've made to this. Now, revenue is still a bit slow on this, but it is still flowing. But, I do think we're going to be on track to achieving our target, just might be a little bit later in the year rather than now as we scale up. And hey, you know what? As they say, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. Definitely, we want to be making sure we're getting the profits. Nice. For me, the second goal in April was solidifying the process of resolving IP complaints. Now, in my Amazon business, we received a lot of IP complaints when we started. Basically, when you receive an IP complaint, several times, basically it puts your Amazon seller account potentially at risk. It goes from green, amber to red, which is a huge problem because you can get suspended and potentially you could lose your Amazon selling account. Certainly something I do not want to be getting. Now, in my Amazon business, we experienced, I think it was a total of 9 IP complaints, which is absolutely crazy. Now, if you want to know, we hired an attorney to handle our IP complaints and it costs money. My Amazon account health has gone green, great to, I think it's the amber at risk, or should we say risk status, as we had, I think it was 9 IP complaints. So basically my attorney, my lawyers, they talked with the complainants, they went through all the IP complaints, and they even got them to retract some of the filings, which is fantastic. Now, currently right now, as of making this video, I only have 2 remaining IP complaints. I love that. And guess what? My account health is back in green. Now, if you're interested in learning who we use for our IP complaints, it's a company run by a guy called Jeff, who I know and does a great job. So I'll drop a link down below, FastTrackFBA.com/Jeff, and you can get in contact with them and also use the same team that we use. And it has been instrumental in, should we say, improving our IP situation. And they've been really, really helpful. Big shout out to them. And obviously, if you want to have a look at the link down below. Now, the third thing I've been focusing on in April was quite simply my team performance improvements. Now, of course, with the increase in, should we say, daily targets in my Amazon business, obviously to grow that revenue to 1 million, I need to improve the performance of my team. Basically, I sent 2 of my VAs back to the FastTrackFBA VA Academy Aftercare, where they refreshed, they looked at new sourcing methodologies, what we were doing and the way we were working, and obviously improving their performance in online sourcing. Now, after support from FastTrackFBA, obviously it's where we do the hiring for all our VAs, their performance improved, significantly, and we were super, super happy. Now, before they were buying, let's call it this way, 3, maybe up to $5,000 worth of deals per week, and now we're getting for 5 to 7. So we're really happy with that. And the net result is that they're actually finding more deals now, and like I said before, they're actually more profitable because that's the change in strategy we're looking at as well. So #excited, more revenue, more profits. Everyone loves that. Right guys, today I'm talking about my Amazon USA business. Now the one thing which I will say is this is a business I started I think about 11 months ago, and I started it from scratch, but I hired VAs from the get-go, and the whole objective was to literally build a business, get it to 1 million, and do it in little time as possible. Right now, I'm running this business in pretty much 1 hour a week, which is incredible, but how? Well, quite simply, I've got a team of VAs, virtual assistants in the Philippines, doing the sourcing, doing the buying, doing the administration for me, running the entire business. Now, I couldn't do it without them, and they are literally the lifeline of all three of my companies, and I'm so grateful to have them. Now, if you are looking at me and saying maybe you want to travel the world, maybe grow your business, and understand that you can't be doing everything else, and quite simply, what do you need? You need a virtual assistant. So what I'd say is look no further than the FastTrackFBA VA Academy. Why? Well, because quite simply, we find, hire, and train a virtual assistant to work in your business doing the sourcing, which is going to help you get out of those time-consuming tasks and focusing on growing the business. Now, if you're interested and want to know more, have a look at the link down below. You can see obviously what we offer and obviously booking a free 30-minute call, see if it's going to be right for you. Trust me, we've hired over 500 VAs since starting, and we offer a comprehensive 12-week aftercare program to get results. Why does this work? Well, 200 people have already seen the value of it and it's worked, and obviously they've hired 500 VAs, or over 2 VAs per client, and obviously they know it works. So have a look at the link down below. Trust me, I think you're gonna love it. Start building that business today. Right, this leads me nicely onto my plans for May in 2022. So I'm going to be looking at increasing the number of SKUs within my Amazon USA business. Now, one thing we discovered or noticed, is that by increasing the number of SKUs, the range of products we have also helps increase the sales in my Amazon business. Basically, the more products I have in my Amazon store, the more customers are going to be able to buy from me. I've got more stuff to buy, and obviously the net result is now I need to, increase my SKU count by looking for new products every week, which we can sell within my Amazon store. For me, the one thing we're going to be looking at this is not only looking at spend, looking at ROI, but also looking at trying to encourage our team to find new products, not just replenishing the same ones, but increasing that range. Why? Bigger range equals bigger revenues, and hopefully more profits. That is what I'm looking at. Now, the second one I'm going to be looking at is learning more on IP complaints. Look, I mentioned earlier, my Amazon account health is super important. We were at risk, oh my God, 9 IP complaints. But I need to make sure we're on top of this, and obviously prevention is better than a cure, but obviously for both of them. So going forward for May, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be traveling to New York to attend an event about, IP account health, selling on Amazon from some really top experts. So I'm going to be learning everything that I can in this event about how to prevent, how to handle IP complaints, and some top tips and tricks that are going to support me and my Amazon business. Since we've had a lot of IP complaints, dealt with them, but I think learning about this very important topic is going to be super, super important. This is going to help my Amazon business in the long run, not only in the US, but also in the UK as well. And hey, who doesn't like a trip to New York? I've never been, I'd love to do it as well. So watch this space, I'll release some videos as well. Now, this leads me nicely onto my third chapter, which is, personal advice. Now, you might be asking, why would I travel from Mexico to New York City just to learn about IP complaints? Why can't I do it online? Here's my thoughts behind it. Why do I build a business? I build a business so I can live a great life. And there are times in that business where an opportunity arises whereby I can help the business, but also, well, my God, I can help my life. And I want to take advantage of those whenever they happen. For example, a couple of weeks ago, I went to Playa del Carmen in Mexico to an entrepreneur's meetup, and I had a week in Playa del Carmen on the beach. And also as well, I went to, a week-long event, and obviously the company paid, and it was really useful because I learned so much, and we're implementing that now. But not only that, I had kind of like a working holiday. That was amazing. Now for me, I've never been to New York. I'd love to go. There's also an opportunity to learn about IP complaints, which I think is something that, given the past history, I need to learn about, and I'd love to go as well. And you know what? It's just going to help me in the long run. And then not only that, in the world of online, we're all now doing Zoom calls, which is great, but I still think there is real value in building a personal relationship, a personal connection with people, and getting out there, meeting people, is super important. And one of my personal life goals for this year is getting out there, meeting people, surrounding myself with very successful, very intelligent people who are doing amazing things, and learning from them, networking and learning. And there's one big saying which I really believe in: your network is your net worth. And for me, this year, I really want to improve that. So you probably see I'm going to be doing lots of trips coming up, and obviously that is going to be really valuable for me, obviously here, but also within my business, and obviously that grows the business as well. So watch this space. Now, what I will say is that IP complaints complaints are super stressful to handle actually. And if you want to know more about how to handle IP complaints, then what I'll do is I'll leave a video around here about how to handle IP complaints in your Amazon business, something that I made before. Check that out. I think you're gonna like that. Now, what I will say is hopefully you like the video. If you have, give me a big thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button down below. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson, and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.